Stop scrolling, because the next coin you see could be worth thousands of dollars or even become the hidden treasure everyone else overlooked. Every day, rare coins are discovered in old piggy banks, forgotten drawers, bank rolls, and family collections. Could one of them be yours? In today's episode of RE Coins News, we're revealing the incredible history, hidden secrets, and the valuable coins collectors are searching for right now. Stay with us until the very end. You might never look at your pocket change the same way again. Step 1. Have you ever looked at an old dollar coin lying forgotten in a drawer, hidden inside a dusty piggy bank, or resting quietly in your grandparents' collection and wondered if it could be worth far more than $1? Imagine discovering that a simple-looking coin you've owned for years has a fascinating story behind it, one that connects American history, national pride, and the dreams of coin collectors around the world. Today, we are uncovering the truth about one of the most talked-about coins in the United States, the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony $1. Many people have heard dramatic stories claiming this coin is worth millions of dollars. Some believe it can instantly change a person's life. But what is the real story? Is there any truth behind these incredible claims, or are they just myths that continue to spread? Stay with me until the very end, because the history, the hidden details, and the surprising facts about this famous dollar coin may completely change the way you look at your own pocket change. The Susan B. Anthony dollar holds a special place in American history because it represented a bold new chapter for United States coinage. Before this coin appeared, larger dollar coins had been produced for many years, but they were often considered too heavy and inconvenient for everyday use. The United States Mint wanted to create a smaller, lighter dollar coin that could easily fit into wallets, cash registers, vending machines, and everyday commerce. At the same time, the country wanted to honor a remarkable woman whose efforts helped shape American history. That woman was Susan B. Anthony, a determined advocate for equal rights and women's suffrage. Her dedication inspired generations, making her the perfect choice to appear on a circulating United States coin. When the Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979, it became the first circulating United States coin to feature the portrait of a real American woman rather than a symbolic image of liberty. This decision carried enormous historical significance. It celebrated the achievements of someone who spent her life fighting for fairness, justice, and the right of women to vote. Although Susan B. Anthony never lived to see women gain the right to vote nationwide, her tireless efforts helped make that historic achievement possible. By placing her portrait on the dollar coin, the United States recognized her lasting contribution to the nation's history. Now let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the front, also known as the obverse, you will see the portrait of Susan B. Anthony facing to the right. Around her portrait appears the word liberty, a powerful reminder of one of America's founding ideals. Above her head is the phrase "In God We Trust," a motto that has appeared on many United States coins for generations. The year 1979 appears below the portrait, identifying when the coin was produced. If your coin has the letter D beside the date, it means it was struck at the Denver Mint. This tiny letter, called the mint mark, tells collectors where the coin was manufactured. Although millions of 1979 D coins were produced, collectors always pay attention to mint marks because certain combinations of dates, mint locations, and varieties can become more desirable over time. Turn the coin over and you'll find another remarkable design. The reverse features a majestic bald eagle landing gracefully on the surface of the moon while holding an olive branch in its claws. This design symbolizes both strength and peace. It also honors America's achievements in space exploration, especially the Apollo 11 moon landing. Surrounding the eagle is the inscription, United States of America. Above the eagle appears the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one. This phrase reflects the idea that many states and many people came together to form one united nation. At the bottom of the reverse is the denomination $1, making the coin's value clear. Many people assume that because this coin looks old, it must automatically be valuable. Others hear exciting stories on social media claiming that every 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar is worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Those stories capture attention because everyone dreams of finding hidden treasure. The idea that an ordinary coin could transform someone's financial future is exciting, but reality is more complicated. Most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars remain common because the Denver Mint produced millions of them. As a result, many examples found in circulation today are worth only a small amount above face value unless they possess something truly unusual. That doesn't mean you should ignore your coin. In the world of coin collecting, tiny differences can create enormous changes in value. A small minting mistake, an exceptionally well-preserved surface, or a rare variety can make one coin much more desirable than another that looks almost identical. Collectors carefully examine every detail using magnifying glasses and specialized equipment. They study the lettering, the date, the mint mark, the rim, and even microscopic imperfections created during the minting process. Sometimes these differences are so subtle that an untrained eye would never notice them. Condition is one of the most important factors affecting a coin's value. A coin that has spent decades passing through countless hands usually develops scratches, dents, worn lettering, and faded details. These signs of circulation reduce its appeal to collectors. On the other hand, a coin preserved in brilliant, nearly perfect condition may attract much stronger interest. Professional grading companies carefully evaluate coins using internationally recognized standards. Their grades help buyers and sellers determine a coin's condition with greater confidence, making the marketplace more transparent and trustworthy. The excitement surrounding rare coins isn't based only on age. Some of the world's most valuable coins became famous because of extraordinary circumstances. A small number were accidentally struck with the wrong dies. Others featured dramatic minting errors that occurred only a handful of times before the mistake was discovered. Still others survived in astonishing condition, while nearly every other example became worn or damaged. These unique stories are what create legendary coins that collectors eagerly pursue for years, sometimes paying astonishing prices for the opportunity to own a genuine rarity. As we continue this journey, you'll discover why the Susan B. Anthony dollar remains one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history. We'll explore the rare varieties collectors search for, explain how experts identify valuable examples, reveal the biggest myths surrounding this famous coin, and uncover the remarkable events that shaped its legacy. Whether your coin turns out to be worth $1 or much more, understanding its history will help you appreciate why this small piece of metal continues to capture the imagination of collectors across the world more than 4 decades after it was first struck. As news of the new Susan B. Anthony dollar spread across the United States in 1979, millions of Americans were eager to see the nation's newest coin. Banks received fresh rolls from the United States Mint, newspapers discussed the historic design, and many people saved one as a souvenir because it was unlike any dollar coin they had seen before. There was excitement, curiosity, and hope that this smaller dollar would become part of everyday life. The government believed it would make transactions easier and eventually replace the larger and heavier dollar coins that many people found inconvenient to carry. However, the story took an unexpected turn almost immediately. Although the coin represented an important milestone in American history, many Americans found it confusing to use. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was only slightly larger than the quarter, and both coins shared a similar silver-colored appearance. In a hurry, people often mistook one coin for the other. Cashiers accidentally gave the wrong change, customers became frustrated, and vending machine operators faced challenges adapting to the new coin. Instead of becoming an everyday success, the coin struggled to gain widespread public acceptance. This unexpected reaction would shape the future of the series and make the Susan B. Anthony dollar one of the most fascinating chapters in modern American coinage. Despite its limited popularity in daily commerce, collectors quickly realized that the coin marked an important moment in United States history. Every coin tells a story, and the Susan B. Anthony dollar tells several at once. It represents the nation's recognition of a woman whose determination changed history. It reflects the government's attempt to modernize American currency. It also reminds us that even carefully planned ideas do not always succeed in the way people expect. Because of these reasons, the coin has remained a favorite subject among collectors, historians, and anyone interested in the evolution of American money. If you own a 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar, one of the first details to examine is the mint mark. The small letter D indicates that your coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing circulating coins in the United States. During 1979, the Denver Mint produced an enormous number of Susan B. Anthony dollars to meet expected demand. Since so many were made, most circulated examples remain relatively common today. This is why simply having a 1979 D coin does not automatically make it rare or extremely valuable. The real excitement begins when collectors discover something unusual that separates one coin from millions of others. One of the most important lessons in coin collecting is that rarity often comes from tiny differences rather than dramatic appearances. Two coins may look almost identical at first glance, yet one may sell for only a few dollars while another attracts strong competition among collectors because of a subtle variety or minting error. This is why experienced collectors examine every letter, every number, every edge, and every design element with patience. Sometimes the smallest detail tells the biggest story. Mint errors have always fascinated collectors because they reveal the human and mechanical side of coin production. Even though the United States Mint follows strict quality standards, producing millions of coins each year creates the possibility that an occasional mistake will escape inspection. Some coins are struck slightly off-center, causing part of the design to be missing. Others may receive a double strike, leaving overlapping images. Occasionally, a coin is struck using a damaged die, creating unusual cracks or raised lines across its surface. These genuine mint errors are often collected because they are accidental and far less common than normal coins. Another feature that attracts collector attention is the quality of the strike itself. A sharply struck coin displays crisp lettering, clear hair details, and bold design elements. Coins with weak strikes may appear softer, with flattened details that reduce their visual appeal. Although both coins were produced at the same mint during the same year, collectors often prefer examples showing exceptional detail because they demonstrate the mint's craftsmanship at its best. Combined with outstanding preservation, a beautifully struck coin can become much more desirable than an average example. Over the years, stories have spread claiming that every dirty, worn, or old Susan B. Anthony dollar is secretly worth a fortune. These stories capture people's imagination because everyone dreams of discovering hidden treasure in ordinary places. While it is true that some rare coins have sold for astonishing amounts at auction, those coins are almost always exceptional in some way. They may possess an extremely rare variety, an important mint era, extraordinary preservation, or a documented history that makes them unique. An ordinary circulated 1979 D dollar, even if it looks old or dirty, usually remains close to its face value unless experts identify something genuinely unusual. Professional authentication plays a major role in the world of valuable coins. Before serious collectors spend large amounts of money, they want confidence that a coin is genuine and accurately graded. Independent grading services examine coins under magnification, verify authenticity, evaluate condition, and seal them inside protective holders. These certified coins often inspire greater confidence among buyers because their authenticity has been confirmed by specialists with years of experience. Certification cannot create rarity where none exists, but it helps protect both buyers and sellers from costly mistakes. Perhaps the greatest lesson the Susan B. Anthony dollar teaches us is that value comes from knowledge rather than rumors. Many people overlook coins simply because they appear ordinary, while others believe unbelievable internet stories without verifying the facts. Successful collectors do something different. They study history, learn about minting processes, understand grading standards, and patiently examine every coin they encounter. This knowledge allows them to recognize genuine opportunities while avoiding unrealistic expectations. In the world of numismatics, education is often far more valuable than luck. The Susan B. Anthony dollar may never have achieved the everyday popularity that its creators hoped for, but its legacy continues to grow with each passing generation. Collectors appreciate it not only for its historical importance, but also because it reminds us that every object has a story waiting to be discovered. What appears to be a simple dollar coin may actually represent decades of American history, remarkable technological achievement, and the lasting influence of a woman whose determination helped change a nation. For that reason alone, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar remains one of the most memorable modern coins ever produced by the United States Mint. If you have a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, begin by examining it under bright light. Look closely at the date, the Denver Mint mark, the lettering, the rim, and both sides of the coin. Notice whether the design appears sharp or worn. Check for unusual doubling, off-center strikes, missing design elements, or other features that appear different from normal examples. Never attempt to clean the coin, even if it appears dirty or tarnished. Cleaning often leaves tiny scratches that permanently reduce a coin's collector value. Many beginners believe they are improving a coin's appearance, but experienced collectors usually prefer original surfaces, even when they show natural age. From time to time, headlines appear describing coins that sold for astonishing prices at major auctions. These extraordinary sales capture worldwide attention and inspire millions of people to search through their own collections. However, it is important to remember that such coins reached those remarkable prices because they were exceptional. Some were unique prototypes, others were famous minting errors, and many had outstanding preservation verified by professional grading services. Their rarity, combined with intense competition among advanced collectors, created the conditions for record-breaking auction results. These exceptional sales should not be mistaken as proof that every coin of the same date is worth a fortune. The Susan B. Anthony dollar also carries a deeper meaning that extends far beyond collector value. It honors a woman whose courage, determination, and perseverance changed American history. Susan B. Anthony devoted her life to promoting equal rights and expanding opportunities for future generations. Although she faced enormous obstacles during her lifetime, her work helped inspire lasting change. Every time someone holds this coin, they are holding a small reminder of that remarkable legacy. In this way, the coin possesses historical and cultural value that cannot be measured only in dollars. So before you spend an old Susan B. Anthony dollar, take a few moments to examine it carefully. You may find an ordinary coin worth its face value, or you may uncover an interesting variety that deserves professional evaluation. Either outcome adds to your understanding of history and the remarkable craftsmanship behind United States coinage. Knowledge is your greatest tool, and every coin you study teaches you something new. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the history and mystery of one of America's most recognizable modern dollar coins. If you enjoyed uncovering the facts behind the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, continue exploring the coins already in your own collection. You never know what fascinating history may be waiting in your pocket, your drawer, or an old family keepsake. Every coin has a story, every collection has a surprise, and every discovery begins with a closer look. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and remember that history is often hiding in the smallest places. Step 2. What if I told you that an old $1 coin sitting quietly in your drawer, hidden inside an old wallet, or forgotten in a family coin collection, could tell an incredible story stretching across American history? Every year, thousands of people search through jars of old coins, hoping to discover a hidden treasure. Some dream of finding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Others simply want to know whether the old dollar they inherited from a grandparent has any special value. Among the coins that attract enormous attention is the 1980 Susan B. Anthony $1. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary dollar coin, but behind its simple appearance lies a fascinating history of innovation, public reaction, and the world of coin collecting. Today, we are going to uncover the complete story of this remarkable coin and explain why collectors continue to study it more than 4 decades after it was first produced. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was created during a period when the United States wanted to modernize its circulating coins. Larger dollar coins had never become especially popular for everyday spending because many people considered them bulky and inconvenient. Officials believed that a smaller dollar coin would be easier to carry and more practical for daily transactions. At the same time, they wanted to honor an American whose determination and courage changed the nation's history. That person was Susan B. Anthony, a leader who spent much of her life advocating for equal rights and voting rights for women. Her portrait became the centerpiece of a historic new dollar coin series, making her the first real American woman to appear on a circulating United States coin. When people look at the front of the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar, every detail has meaning. The word liberty represents one of the founding principles of the United States. Above the portrait appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on American coins for generations. Beneath the portrait is the date, 1980, showing the year in which the coin was struck. Next to the date is the small letter D. This tiny letter is known as the mint mark, and it tells us that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Although the mint mark is small, collectors always pay close attention to it because different mints sometimes produce different quantities, and certain varieties can become more desirable over time. Turning the coin over reveals another powerful design. A bald eagle is shown descending toward the moon while holding an olive branch. This design celebrates America's achievements in space exploration and reflects the success of the Apollo 11 mission. Around the eagle appear the words United States of America, while above it is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. At the bottom is the denomination $1. Every inscription and every design element was carefully chosen to represent the nation's history, unity, strength, and hope for the future. By the time the 1980 coins were produced, the Susan B. Anthony dollar had already faced an unexpected challenge. Many Americans confused it with the quarter because both coins were similar in color and not dramatically different in size. Cashiers sometimes handed out the wrong coin in change, and customers occasionally spent $1 thinking it was only a quarter. This confusion limited the coin's popularity in everyday commerce. Even though millions of coins were struck, many remained in storage because demand from the public never matched expectations. Ironically, the very coin that struggled to gain acceptance in daily life later became one of the most discussed modern American coins among collectors. Many exciting stories circulate on the internet claiming that every 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar is worth a fortune. These stories capture attention because everyone dreams of discovering hidden wealth. However, the truth is more interesting than the myths. Most 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollars are common coins because millions were produced. Their value depends on factors such as condition, rarity, collector demand, and whether they have unusual minting characteristics. While ordinary circulated examples usually remain close to their face value, certain exceptional examples can attract much greater interest from collectors. That is why every coin deserves a careful inspection before any conclusions are made. The condition of a coin plays an enormous role in determining its value. A coin that spent decades in circulation usually shows scratches, worn details, and dull surfaces. Another coin from the same year may have been preserved carefully since the day it left the mint, retaining brilliant luster and sharp details. Collectors place a premium on coins that remain in outstanding condition because fewer survive in that state as time passes. Professional grading services evaluate these characteristics using standardized grading systems that help buyers and sellers understand the quality of a coin with greater confidence. Collectors also search for genuine mint errors because they are created accidentally during the manufacturing process. Sometimes a coin is struck off-center. Occasionally, a design element may appear doubled because of the way the dies were prepared. In rare situations, other unusual production errors escape the mint's inspection process. These mistakes are uncommon, and because they are uncommon, they attract attention from collectors who appreciate the unusual stories behind them. However, not every mark or scratch is a mint error. Many imperfections occur after a coin enters circulation, which is why careful examination is so important. As we continue exploring the history of the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar, you'll discover why this coin continues to fascinate collectors around the world. We'll separate myths from facts, explore the rare features that experts look for, explain why some examples receive much more attention than others, and uncover the lasting legacy of a coin that represents both American history and one of the most ambitious experiments in modern United States coinage. Before you spend an old dollar coin, it may be worth taking a closer look, because every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is far more valuable than people imagine. When the United States Mint began producing the 1980 Susan B. Anthony $1, officials still hoped the coin would eventually become part of everyday American life. The Denver Mint worked with modern equipment and strict quality standards to strike millions of these coins. Every blank metal planchet passed through powerful presses that stamped the detailed designs onto both sides in a fraction of a second, although the process was highly advanced. Producing millions of coins each year always carried the possibility that a small number would emerge with unusual characteristics. Those unexpected pieces would later become the focus of collectors searching for something different from the ordinary examples found in circulation. The Denver Mint has played an important role in American coin production for more than a century. Its small D mint mark appears on countless United States coins and tells collectors exactly where a particular coin was struck. For many beginners, the letter D may seem unimportant, but experienced collectors know that mint marks can sometimes make a significant difference. Certain years or varieties from one mint become scarcer than those from another, creating greater demand among collectors. That is why every serious collector begins by identifying the date and mint mark before examining anything else. Millions of 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollars entered storage, banks, and circulation. Because public demand remained lower than expected, many of these coins survived in relatively nice condition. This is one reason why an ordinary circulated 1980 dollar is generally not considered rare today. However, collectors never assume a coin has little value without inspecting it carefully. A single unusual feature can completely change the interest that a coin attracts in the collecting community. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the search for genuine mint errors. During production, enormous pressure is used to strike each coin. Although the mint's quality control systems are designed to prevent mistakes, occasional errors can still occur. Some coins may be struck slightly off-center, causing part of the design to appear missing. Others may show die cracks, where small fractures in the die create raised lines on the finished coin. There are also doubled design features caused by die preparation or other production issues. These authentic mint errors are uncommon, which is exactly why collectors enjoy finding them. Another factor that influences value is the sharpness of the strike. A coin with crisp lettering, bold details, and well-defined design elements often stands out from one with softer features. The hair details on Susan B. Anthony's portrait, the feathers of the eagle, and the lettering around the rim should all appear clear on a well-struck example. When these details remain sharp and the original mint luster is still present, collectors become much more interested, especially if the coin has experienced very little wear. Many people believe that a dirty or dark-colored coin must automatically be valuable because it looks old. In reality, natural tunning and ordinary dirt do not guarantee rarity. Some coins develop attractive colors over time because of normal chemical reactions, while others simply collect dirt from years of circulation. Neither condition automatically creates great value. What matters most is whether the coin is authentic, well-preserved, and possesses features that make it genuinely different from the millions of standard examples produced during the same year. Another common mistake is cleaning old coins. A person may believe they are improving the appearance of a coin by polishing it until it shines like new. Unfortunately, cleaning usually leaves tiny scratches that reduce collector interest. Professional collectors often prefer original surfaces because they reveal the coin's true condition and history. Once a coin has been harshly cleaned, that damage cannot be reversed. This is why experts recommend leaving potentially collectible coins exactly as they are until they can be properly evaluated. Stories about ordinary Susan B. Anthony dollars selling for enormous amounts often spread rapidly because they capture people's imagination. While there have been impressive auction results for exceptional coins, those sales almost always involve pieces with extraordinary qualities, such as extremely high grades, important mint errors, or rare varieties. A normal 1980D Susan B. Anthony dollar is usually worth close to its face value, but a certified high-grade example or an unusual error coin may command a much stronger price among collectors. The difference lies in rarity, condition, and verified authenticity rather than in the date alone. Professional grading companies play a major role in this process. Experts examine each submitted coin under magnification, verify that it is genuine, evaluate its preservation, and assign a grade using recognized industry standards. Once certified, the coin is sealed inside a protective holder that helps preserve its condition. Collectors often prefer certified coins because they provide confidence regarding authenticity and quality, making it easier to buy and sell them in the marketplace. Perhaps the greatest lesson taught by the 1980D Susan B. Anthony dollar is that knowledge is more valuable than rumors. Anyone can repeat sensational stories claiming that every old coin is worth a fortune, but experienced collectors rely on careful observation, research, and patience. They understand that genuine treasures are identified through facts rather than excitement. Every coin deserves a careful look, because you never know when an unusual detail might reveal something truly interesting. Whether your coin turns out to be common or uncommon, the process of learning about its history connects you to a remarkable chapter in the story of American money. As the years passed, the 1980D Susan B. Anthony $1 slowly transformed from an unpopular circulating coin into an important piece of modern American numismatic history. Although many people overlooked it during the early 1980s, collectors continued to study the series with growing interest. What once seemed like an ordinary dollar coin became a symbol of an important moment in the evolution of United States currency. Today, thousands of collectors preserve these coins not because every example is worth a fortune, but because each one represents an important chapter in American history and honors the legacy of Susan B. Anthony. One of the reasons this coin continues to attract attention is the excitement of the search. Every collector hopes to discover an unusually well-preserved example or a genuine mint error that escaped the mint's inspection. Looking through rolls of old coins, inherited collections, estate sales, and forgotten coin jars has become part of the adventure. Most discoveries turn out to be ordinary coins, but every now and then a truly interesting example appears. That possibility is what keeps the hobby exciting and inspires collectors to continue searching year after year. If you own a 1980D Susan B. Anthony dollar, examine it carefully before spending it. Look at the date, the D mint mark, the lettering, the eagle on the reverse, and the overall condition. Notice whether the coin still has its original mint luster or whether it has heavy wear from circulation. Check for unusual features that might indicate a genuine mint error, such as an off-center strike, significant doubling, or other characteristics that are different from normal examples. If something appears unusual, it may be worth having the coin examined by a professional coin expert or a respected grading service. Remember that value is determined by several important factors working together. Rarity is one factor, but condition, collector demand, authenticity, and historical significance also play major roles. A common coin in poor condition usually remains close to its face value, while a scarce variety or an exceptionally preserved example can attract much stronger interest from collectors. This is why experienced collectors never make assumptions based only on age or internet rumors. They rely on careful examination and verified information. The story of the Susan B. Anthony dollar is also the story of perseverance. Susan B. Anthony devoted her life to fighting for equality and expanding opportunities for future generations. Although she never witnessed the full impact of her work, Her determination helped shape American history. Every time someone holds this coin, they are holding more than a piece of metal. They are holding a reminder of courage, dedication, and the belief that lasting change is possible through persistence and conviction. Many videos and social media posts claim that every old Susan B. Anthony dollar is worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Such claims often create excitement, but the truth is more balanced. Most 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollars are common coins. Only exceptional examples, such as certified high-grade specimens or coins with significant and genuine mint errors, can become especially valuable. Learning to separate facts from exaggeration is one of the most important skills every collector can develop. Even if your coin is not rare, it still has historical value. It represents a period when the United States experimented with a new dollar coin and honored an American whose influence reached far beyond her own lifetime. That historical importance makes the Susan B. Anthony dollar an interesting addition to any collection. Every scratch, every mark, and every detail reflects the journey the coin has taken over decades of circulation and preservation. As we reach the end of this journey, remember that the greatest treasure in coin collecting is knowledge. The more you learn about mint marks, varieties, grading, and history, the better prepared you will be to recognize truly special coins. Every collection begins with curiosity, and every expert collector started by asking simple questions about ordinary coins. Your next discovery may not be worth millions, but it could teach you something fascinating about American history and the remarkable craftsmanship behind United States coinage. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 1980 Susan B. Anthony $1. The next time you find an old dollar coin in your pocket, a family collection, or a forgotten box, don't rush to spend it. Take a closer look, appreciate its history, and discover the story it carries. Whether your coin is worth $1 or much more, it is a small piece of history that has survived for decades. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep your curiosity alive, because every coin has a story waiting to be discovered, and sometimes that story is the most valuable treasure of all.